Okay, so we have reached part D, exercise 15, where we're going to look at how to work with EndNote and large Word documents. So it's important to be aware that you can't cut and paste text safely that have formatted EndNote citations. If you do this a lot, you will end up with a corrupted document. So to be able to edit EndNotes safely, what you need to do is to unformat the EndNote citations prior to editing and then reformat when done. Some people only reformat when they're at the very end of their process. So how do you do this? It's very easy. At the Convert Citations and Bibliography, you can convert to unformatted citations. So I've done this. I'd just like to point here, you might see where my cursor is in the abstract section, fourth line down, the Barnett-Lopez citation, and it has the record number it belongs to. So remember when we were looking at the duplicates, I said it was important to get rid of the duplicates to ensure that you did not have references to the same paper, but with different record numbers that would basically stuff things up. So that's what it is there. And then you could move your text around and then you could just update when you're done and everything would be fine again. So what happens when you do that as well, I hadn't scrolled down to the references, but when you convert to unformatted, the references at the end will disappear, and when you update again, they will reappear. Now, I'm sure that many of you in this Zoom are PhD students who will probably end up with a large document, that being your thesis. So you may need at the end of this PhD journey to join multiple Word documents that have EndNote information within them into a single document with a single bibliography. So if you wanted to do this safely, I would use this process that you have just practiced, which is to make a copy of each document firstly, then open the Word documents and convert the citations to unformatted citations and save each document thus. And then you would copy and paste each document in turn into a whole new document and update the citations in that merged document. So the steps to achieve this are in exercise 16, stepped out quite clearly. So when you come to that stage, when you actually need to do that, just remember that that help is there and you've got the steps on how to achieve it there. I'm going to look now at exercise 17, which is moving a bibliography. You might notice that as a default, EndNote will put the references at the very end of a document, which often is fine, but occasionally might not be useful, especially if you have appendices. You would want the references before the appendix or appendices. So what I'm going to do, this is especially useful for using a thesis template, is to make sure the paragraph markers are visible. So I've just gone to the home ribbon, made the paragraph markers visible, and I'm going to select the reference list and cut it rather, and paste it in the correct place and just remove that, and that will stick my references in the correct area, actually in front of the appendix. Now, finally, last point, it can be complex to send a Word document that has EndNote citations within it to a supervisor or a colleague who then possibly edits it, and then things can go wrong. It is often simpler to send them a version of your document that is plain text. So I'm back in the EndNote functionality here, and I'm going to do the convert to plain text. Now, there's a big warning here and here, and watch this warning carefully, because this is a one-way street. What we are about to do is to cut the connection between the Word document and EndNote, and this cannot be undone. So you wouldn't be able to edit any of the references or anything like that. That is it. So what you need to do is to make a copy of your document before you convert it to plain text, possibly send it to your supervisor for comment, and then you would edit yourself in the original. So that's converting to plain text. Okay. Well, that's the end of the advanced workshop. At the end of the exercises, there's lots of places where you can get help, and you have some guidance on who can help as well. Marvin and I will hang around for another 10 minutes or so, should you have some questions. And I believe Marvin's going to be sending an email in the next few days asking for feedback. This is just the third time that we have done this workshop. So it is relatively new. So if you have any feedback, any comments, if you thought it wasn't useful having the exercises, or in fact you wanted more, things like that, let us know. That would be really useful. Okay.
Excuse me, Catherine.
Yep.
Hey, I've just had a question in the chat, and they missed a demonstration of the MS Word formatting. They're wondering if you could perhaps demo it again.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have time again. That's great that you have pointed that out. So can you see the Word document?
Sure can.
You sure can? Excellent. So what we did, I might just scroll up a little bit so you're more on the text here, is that we did convert citations and bibliography to unformatted citations. And this is what we were saying would be good practice to do before you start editing and cutting and pasting text around. And you can see here, if you look at the conclusion section, you can see how it's gone to Zhang 2019 and then a record number. So that's kind of giving me a visual that this is unformatted, and this is referring to record 617 in my EndNote library. When I've finished doing my moving around, my editing, I can just click update. And now you can see back here, Zhang et al. 2019, and the record number is gone. So again, that's my visual that now it's a formatted one.